This is browsing the eShop. So it's been a while since I browsed the eShop. So let's go ahead and browse the eShop and see what the eShop has to offer. First off, let's go into recent releases. You can see there's a game called Color Zen. I know that there's actually free Color Zen. I'm not quite sure what this game is. I think this game is a coloring book or something like that. Okay, no, I'm completely wrong about that. It looks like this game is a puzzle game for just a puzzle game of some sort. Again, like I said, they do have a regular Color Zen, and the regular Color Zen is a free download on the Nintendo Switch. So if you want to check that out, you can go ahead and check that out. It was something kind of interesting. So I guess there's a Color Zen. This game right here reminds me of another series. I can't think of the series off the top of my head, but it's pretty much where you control a motorcycle, then you have to complete an obstacle course. I know they have a couple of different ones on different platforms, so this is what this looks like. I could be totally wrong about this, but this is what this game looks like, a ripoff of that game. This is called Old School Racer 2, so I don't know what you're doing here, but from what I'm seeing, it looks like you're just going through these different obstacle courses and trying to make it to the end of these obstacle course in like a time limit or something like that. Just something very interesting if you're into those type of obstacle course type motorcycle games like that. Here is Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes. I know this game was supposed to be like a spin-off of the No More Heroes games that we had before, and this game's only $29, so this is not a full price release at $60. This game's only a $29 release. I heard a lot of people had mixed feelings about this game, and I even heard some people say they had a glitch happen to this game where they even couldn't even finish the whole entire game unless they restarted their game save, and that must be devastating. You get to the end of the game and you have to restart the whole entire game because you can't finish it, which does suck. This game personally doesn't look like a game that would interest me all that much. I am glad, I guess, they realized this game for some reason was a spin-off and they weren't sure if fans of No More Heroes were going to like this game, so they released it at $30 instead of $60, which is something very interesting. But yeah, there is Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes, and that's not really a small release. That's actually one of the bigger third-party titles, I do believe, so you may want to check out Travis Strikes Again. Let's see what else is on the eShop. Okay, let's see. We do have Gunman Clive HD Collection. I don't know if I talked about this last time during my last eShop browsing, but Gunman Clive is a platforming game like your Mega Mans, your Marios, and things like this. I can vouch for this game. I do own Gunman Clive 1, and honestly, I do like the Gunman Clive series. Honestly, at $3.99, it's definitely a steal. The only problem with this game is when you look at $3.99, you may think this game's kind of like a cheap indie game on Switch or not a good game, because most games that are really super cheap are just a lot of the times not that good. But don't let that price fool you. This collection is actually good. I like the art style of these games. The platforming of these games were very good. You get the first two Gunman Clive, so you're not just getting one in this package, you're actually getting both Gunman Clive 1 and 2. I know this collection is also on the Wii U, so if you have a Wii U, you can play it. I do know these games are also on 3DS. That's where I have my first copy of this game. I don't think you can get it in a collection on 3DS. I think you actually have to buy them separately on 3DS. Keep that in mind. But yes, I do love Gunman Clive, and there's actually some unlockables after you beat the game and things like that. So yes, this game is definitely a game you probably want to check out if you're a fan of platforming games and things like this. This game is definitely a good game for $3.99. You'll definitely get your money's worth out of that game. Let's see what else is on the eShop. This game actually is kind of interesting. I don't know what this Dragon's Lair trilogy is, but this thing reminds me of like an old 90s cartoon. Actually, for some reason, this reminds me of like, I think, a 3DO game. I'm not sure if it's 3DO or Philips CDI, either CDI or 3DO, one of those old consoles. It kind of reminds me of those because it looks like this might be an animated movie. Let's go ahead and check the description and see what this game's all about. Included are all three arcade classics: Dragon's Lair, Space Age, and Dragon's Lair 2 Time Warp. And Dragon Lair Hero, what kind of game is this? An arcade adventure action game. Interesting. See, that's the thing here. Just by looking at these different pictures on the eShop, you can't really tell what type of game this is. This looks like an animated movie or something like this. There is a trailer I could play, but the thing is, I don't want to play trailers in this because I don't want to get hit with copyright, and I don't know what type of sound or what type of animation is going to be playing, so typically I stay away from those. That would probably show me more of the actual gameplay of this, but something interesting. Dragon's Lair trilogy. This trilogy is $20, so I don't know if it's going to be worth $20, but apparently it is a remake of all the old arcade classic, so I guess this isn't technically a new game. It's like a remaster or a port or something like that on the Nintendo Switch. This game I was actually quite interested in, Football Heroes Turbo, because if you know anything about the Switch, we currently have no football games when it comes to football. I think we have one football game, Mutant Mutations Football, I think. But besides that, we really don't have a lot of football love on the Switch. Of course, we don't even have Madden on the Nintendo Switch. But I was looking at this game. I actually saw a review, and to my call, I think this is a mobile game on iOS and Android. I could be wrong about that, but that's what I thought. And even if it's not on Android and iOS, I do know that this game definitely gives off a mobile vibe. You can tell there's a lot of things in this game that you can just tell this game was a mobile game. And for $14.99, I was like, I don't know if I really want to buy this game, so I'm not really too interested in Football Heroes Turbo. But if you're looking for a football game, this may be one you might want to check out. Again, $14.99. I think this game's on mobile. I didn't like the whole aspect also of like your football players having some type of abilities, whether we're talking about like spells, them punching and kicking. It's much more arcadey football. It's not really like realistic football. So if you want an arcadey style football game, this is pretty much going to be it. And this is pretty much one of your few options when it comes to football games on Switch, which does kind of suck. But here it is right here. If you want it, I guess the graphics don't look too bad. Maybe the gameplay wouldn't be all too bad, but just the fact that it's a mobile game, I think, and the fact that it even gives off a mobile vibe, I'm like, I don't really want to spend $14.99. This really doesn't feel like an indie game. It feels kind of like a mobile game. Let's see what else is on here. That's could be quite interesting on the Switch. Let's see. Looks like we got more ports of the Neo Geo games. So if you're a Neo Geo fan, they keep porting these games to the Switch, and I think that's awesome. Since we don't have a proper virtual console, you can't really buy too many Nintendo games to own forever. You pretty much have to play all your games through the Nintendo Switch online service. I think Neo Geo might be an option if you like these type of games. There's different ports. I think this game's a fighting game. It looks like a lot of the Neo Geo games are going to be fighting games, and this one's a port of another fighting game on Neo Geo. Probably worth $7.99 if you're into old school games or into Neo Geo games and things like this. Trying to see what else is on the eShop that would be kind of interesting. I think that's pretty much it for this week in terms of new releases, because I think going down, I kind of already talked about a lot of different games right here. These are kind of old games, so I think that's everything I personally want to talk about in new releases. Let's see if there's anything interesting. Build a Bridge. What is Build a Bridge? Award-winning physics-based puzzle game. Interesting. So it looks like we have some kind of puzzle game on Switch. You can probably have some fun with this for $14.99 if you're into puzzles or just wacky, like physics-based games and just tinkering and messing around and things like this. Personally, this game's probably not going to be for me. I can just tell. I'm not a person that likes puzzles all that much, so I'm going to stay clear of this game. And I think it's just a little bit too high personally for me at $14.99. And yeah, but if you're interested, there's Build a Bridge. What can I say about Build a Bridge? And what is Bedtime Blues is on sale for 50% off, so it's normally $9.99. What is this thing? Okay, this looks like some type of horror game. For some reason, this game's kind of giving me Five Nights at Freddy's vibes. I don't know why that is, but I guess it's like maybe you're like in a dark room. It just looks like you control different aspects of this dark room. That's probably why this game's giving me Five Nights at Freddy's vibes. But here's the game right here. Something very interesting. Maybe at $4.99 you want to mess around with this game, but I just feel like a lot of these games that are just cheap or just random games you've never heard about are probably not going to be that good, and you're probably not going to get your money worth, and you're better off saving that $5 towards another game, or maybe you're even better off spending the $5 on like food or something like that. I just found that funny. But there's Bedtime's Blue. It's always funny too when a lot of these new games come out on the Switch on like day one or like pre-purchase. You can always get these on sales because developers like, well, no one's probably gonna buy our game. Let's go ahead and discount our game because yeah, like I said, no one's gonna buy our game, so let's do that. Let's see what else we got on Switch here. Like I said, that's pretty much it. Let's go to Great Deals and see if there's any good deals on sale. I did actually see the Messenger on sale. I think if you click on Messenger, Messenger's on sale. And it's funny because the Messenger wasn't even on the great deal section, but I was searching, I think the other night, RPGs or something like that in like the $20 price point, and I saw the Messenger come up. And you guys know the Messenger is a fantastic game. It's a pretty much a clone of Ninja Gaiden back on the NES. So if you love Ninja Gaiden, you're gonna love a modern spin on Ninja Gaiden, and it's actually doing some things differently than Ninja Gaiden. So check that out. That's actually on sale. I just wanted to point that out there. Jumping Joe and Friends, 49 cents. These developers are just so desperate. You know people are going to buy this game. This game was actually a game I was thinking about buying, believe it or not, with my gold points, because this looks like Jumping Jacks or Jumping Flash or something on a mobile. I used to play that game back on my old iPod, and I remember this game where you're pretty much just going up through levels, and this is something that would actually be appealing to me. But then again, I'm really just wasting 49 cents on this. I might go ahead and waste my coins on this just to do a review on this game or something like that. But there is Jumping Jacks and Friends at $4.99. This game is definitely not worth a purchase. That's just too high. But for 49 cents, yeah, you may want to get this. But then again, here's the problem. The problem with a lot of these games, you can get a lot of these games that are even costing even a penny, even just a couple cents on Nintendo Switch. You can probably get a free version on iOS and Android and things like that, or even on a Flash website on the internet. If you still type in old games on the web browser, you can get that. So this game's probably not even worth a buy on Switch, most likely. But there's Jumping Joe and Friends. It's always funny. Every time you go to the discount section on Switch, you always find these games that are always going to be super cheap, whether we're talking about $1, 50 cents, a penny, and things like that. Mutant Mudds is on sale, and I can say this game's actually a good game. I can't really say I can't really say how this game plays because I have not yet to play this game, but I was looking up reviews and things like this, and this game is a good game. Apparently this was a game back on the 3DS, and this really utilizes the 3DS effect. So if you have a 3DS, you may actually want to play this on 3DS. But heck, considering this game is only $2.99 right now, you may want to pull the trigger on this game, because I know a lot of people like this game. I think it got like 7s and 8s for this game. So this game was actually a pretty decent game, and for $2.99, that's not asking the world. And if you don't have anything else to play, you may want to check out Mutant Mudds Collection. I think there's 3 games. Yes, you get Mutant Mudds Deluxe, Mutant Mudds Super Challenge, and Mud Blocks. At first, when I saw the blocking game on here, I thought this was like a spin-off of like a clone of a Tumbleseed or Tumbleteed or Tumbleweed or something like that. It's a puzzle game. You guys probably seen that on the eShop a couple times on sale, or you've seen that on other platforms. But yeah, that's pretty much what this is getting. But the other 2 are actually platforming games. Deluxe and Super Challenge are both platforming games. So if you like platformers, you may want to give this game a go at $2.99. I'm sure you can have some type of fun. I don't know if this game's worth $14.99. I think the asking price, from what I've seen, definitely leans towards more of like maybe like $5, $6, $7 for this game, just because, well, you can definitely tell this has more of like a mobile type vibe until of like a and instead of like a console type vibe or an indie type vibe. But $2.99 is not too bad for that. Let's see, it looks like the Outlast games are on sale. If you like horror games, and you're gonna like Outlast, I know a lot of people like the Outlast games. They're games that you pretty much want to play it's a one and done type scenario, so they're not really good for replayability, probably not. But these are games, if you haven't played the Outlast games, you may want to give them a go on Switch. And right now they are on sale, $12.49 for the first Outlast game, and let's see, $14.99 for the second Outlast game. So both Outlast games would only cost you like 20 some dollars on the Switch if you wanted to buy both Outlast games. Jackbox Party Packs on sale on the Switch as well. And I know a lot of people like this. I think this game's a multiplayer like game where you do a lot of different like, it's kind of like a trivia game, I want to say. I think a lot of people play this game, but you need friends and you need different people. So if you don't have anybody to play with, this game's really not a good game to be playing by yourself. But yeah, there's the Jackbox Party Pack 2, very good at $14.99. Regular price is $24.99, and a lot of people like that series. There's probably nothing wrong with that if you like party games and trivia games and things like that. Then you're definitely probably gonna love this Jackbox Party Pack. The one game I did not know was even on sale on the Nintendo Switch, I guess it just came out like today or something, is The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. It kind of makes me want to waste more money on the eShop, which I already waste a lot of money on the eShop. But here's the thing, this game is absolutely a fantastic roguelike experience on the Switch, and there's a lot of roguelikes popping up on Switch. This is one that actually came out when the Switch was actually very, very new. It came out like in the first 3 months of the Switch coming out. This is actually the one with all the DLC, so you're not getting an older version, because I know some platforms have an older version of Binding of Isaac, but this one's the one with all the DLC for this game. And The Binding of Isaac is pretty much like a twin stick shooter. Not really twin stick, but it's like a game where you're going through different mazes. This game is kind of reminding me of Enter the Gungeon. If you ever played Enter the Gungeon, then this may be a game you may want to check out. Of course, it plays probably differently than Enter the Gungeon, but that's the closest thing I can think of when it comes to these type of roguelikes. But yeah, if you like games with a lot of replayability and things like this, I can definitely tell you this game's a steal at $20. Heck, I would even say that this game's definitely a steal at $40. So if this is half off right now, definitely jump on the bandwagon. A lot of people love the Binding of Isaac game, and this would be a game if I bought this game. I know I would sink hundreds of hours into this game. Just take a look at a lot of my other roguelikes on Switch, whether we're talking about Dead Cells, whether we're talking about Enter the Gungeon. I put in so many hours into these roguelikes. I like the fact these roguelikes give you so much replayability. It's just crazy. And the thing about the games are everything you do in each gameplay session is always going to be different. So you see these different things popping up from time to time. You also get different items, so much to collect and things like that. I'm surprised that they want to put this game for half off. And this game definitely fits the Switch easily. And next up we have One Strike. I just want to talk about One Strike. I know One Strike's probably not all that great because it's a game where it's pretty much a one-on-one fighting game, but you literally only have one hit to take. And if you get hit once, you die in your combat. You can see the art style is not that good on One Strike. It's probably not the best game, but the thing is though, this was one game that actually got removed from the eShop, I think for the music. I do believe if it wasn't the music, it was something, and that's why you probably haven't seen this in a while on the Nintendo Switch, but it's finally back. I guess they got that whole situation fixed when it comes to the Nintendo Switch and the whole copyright issue with Nintendo Switch. Let's see what else. This game's always on sale once in a while for 99 cents. This is pretty much a turn-based RPG or tactics RPG, kind of like your Fire Emblems, your Advanced Wars, your Final Fantasy Tactics, things like that. So if you love grid-based RPGs where you move units around a grid and you try to fight other teams, then you're probably going to like this game. I can see this game actually being pretty good for 99 cents because it's a grid-based. How can you really mess up the concept? And you got to look at the normal price for this game. The normal price for this game is $15 or $16. So yeah, it's pretty expensive, but for 99 cents, you'd probably have some fun. Honestly, if you were to ask me, would I take Plague Road, One Strike, or this Jumping Joe and Friends for 49 cents. Honestly, I'd probably take Plague Road because Plague Road is one of those games that looks like it actually has some type of gameplay on it. I actually looked into Mana Spark because I really do like roguelikes. I said this many times, the Switch is so littered with roguelikes, it's just crazy, but I looked into this game and honestly it looked like it didn't have a lot to offer, but considering it's only $6, maybe you got to keep your expectations low for Mana Spark. It's pretty much a dungeon crawler where you go into different like dungeons and different like rooms and you try to just fight different enemies. You get things like swords and bows, but the graphics don't look too good. There wasn't a lot of things going on in these levels. The levels look dull and things like that, so I pretty much stayed away from this game. But if you're looking for roguelikes, this may be a game you may want to check out. But there's so many good other roguelike options on Switch, you may want to keep your $6 or your $10 when this game goes off of sale away from this game, because this is one game that may be lower when it comes to roguelikes on Switch. Let's see what else is on here. I didn't know Bridge Construction Portal was on sale. I know that looks like something to do with Portal, but I don't think it's actually Portal. I think it's some physics-based game. So if you like physics-based stuff where you're building stuff, tinkering around with stuff, you may like this game. Normal price is $14.99, $10.49. Enter the person. Yeah, it looks like it's some kind of physics-based puzzle or a construction game. If you like those games where you just tinker around with different objects and things like that, yeah, you may want to go for that. Ikaruga's on sale, I think. Yeah, Ikaruga's on sale. I am a fan of shoot 'em ups. This game is one of those games that's not unknown at this point. A lot of people who play shoot 'em ups know what this game is. This game is actually a very good game. I actually heard from somebody out there who owns Ikaruga on Switch, like recently. I heard that there's some problems on Switch, like the performance of this game is not up to par considering this game was a GameCube game. Someone said it's better off to play this on GameCube than the Nintendo Switch, but maybe you can look you can overlook some of those problems. And honestly, I have to be honest with you guys, I don't know what type of problems this game had, so I can't really tell you the performance problems the Switch version has, but apparently it had some type of problems. This game is an interesting shoot 'em up. Just be warned, I do know from everybody who's played Ikaruga is a very hard shoot 'em up. So if you're new to the shoot 'em up genre, or if you want a shoot 'em up game, you may want to stay clear of this game. This game is just very brutal in concept, and this is one of the hardest shoot 'em up games, and there's much more easier shoot 'em up games, so you may want to stay clear of Ikaruga. But there's Ikaruga. It's normally $14.99, now it's $10. Either way, it's still a worthy purchase if you're a very big fan of shoot 'em up games or shooting games. This game's good no matter what price you pay for this game. I think $15 is fair for this game. At $10, it's definitely worth your buy. Let's see what else is on the Nintendo Switch. I heard about Velocity. I think Velocity is an okay game. It's kind of like yeah, it's part shoot 'em up and I think part platformer. So if you want a platformer shoot 'em up type deal, you should get this game. I think I looked into this game before, and I think this game is an old game ported to Switch, but I think Velocity 2X is actually a pretty decent game, and I think a lot of people like their experience with this game, so you should probably check this game out if you like shoot 'em up games and you like platformer. I think it's more of a shoot 'em up, or maybe it's a combination of both, I want to say. But yeah, there is Velocity. Definitely check into that game. Cave Story's on sale, so there's actually some pretty good games right now on sale on Switch. I'm actually surprised. It's not like a mind-blowing sale, but there is more stuff than I expected. I haven't checked the store in a while. Let's see. Cave Story is a good platformer shooter, I think it is. Yeah, it's pretty much a platformer shooter, so you have this character running around. I want to say this might be a Metroidvania-esque style game where you have this character shooting with a gun. That's pretty much it, and I know a lot of people like this game, Cave Story Plus. I think this might be the new version, or this might be a second version, because it says Plus. I don't know what the Plus actually means on Cave Story Plus, but there is Cave Story on the Switch. I don't know, there's some good deals I might have to jump on the Nintendo Switch. Let's see what else is on sale. Little Dev 2. What is Little Dev 2? Okay, Little Dev 2 definitely gives off Zelda vibes. I know that there's a couple of Zelda clones on Switch and on other platformers. I think we have Blossom's Tale on Switch, which is actually worth every single penny of the retail price. I think it's going for $15 on the eShop, Blossom Tales, and that game definitely feels like it's a very good game, even though it is a blatant ripoff of like Link to the Past. But yeah, here's another one. Honestly, if you're to ask me, this game might be okay, but for $4 more, you might be better off buying Blossom Tale, because just from looking at this game, and I know what Blossom Tale looks like. Blossom Tale looks like it has a better art style. It looks like it's overall is going to be a better replica of Zelda. If you like some of the old classic Zelda games, you may want to go with Blossom Tale. But this game is normally $29, so it's a very expensive game. At $29, I'm going to be expecting some pretty lengthy gameplay and a lot of depth to the game if I'm going to be paying $29. Of course, you're not paying $29 here, but this game was originally $29, so this game better be better than Blossom Tale right out the gate for $29 compared to $14. The end is nigh. I don't know what the end is nigh. I keep hearing about this game once in a while. I think it's some kind of weird platformer. Yes, it's some kind of a weird platformer on Switch. I don't know if this game is good, but I keep seeing this game every once in a while. Normal price is $14.99. Now, the price right now on sale is $4.99 for this game, so you may want to check into that game. And here's another game, Toy Stunt Bike, which is on sale. It's kind of like that other game I just showed, which is pretty much a game. I have played the demo, because there is a demo to this game, and this game pretty much plays like obstacle course, like motorbike racing game. Not really a racing game, but you have to complete different challenges and complete different obstacle courses. But there it is, Toy Stunt Bike. I actually liked what I played in the demo. Here's another shoot 'em up. This shoot 'em up is also a very good shoot 'em up game, and yeah, $7.49. It has a cool art style and things like that. Let's go ahead and see what else is on the Switch for sales and see if there's anything interesting. Codename Princess is definitely a good franchise. It originally came out, I think, on 3DS, and this is, I think, an EX version, which gives you more content. This game is like a side-scrolling hack and slash, so if you like side-scrolling hack and slash games, then you're gonna love this game. I know this game got pretty decent scores, so if you like anime hack and slash side scrollers, then you're gonna love Code of Princess. I don't know if it's worth $40. $40 might be asking a little bit too much of this game, but there is a Code of Princess. I have heard of that game, and it's a port of a 3DS game, I think, with additional content. And yeah, I think that's it. I don't want to make this video way too long because there's a lot I can look at on the Nintendo Switch, and the eShop just keeps on going and going and going. And there is some good deals, but there's the deal section right there. I didn't cover everything. Let's go ahead and see what the best sellers are on Switch. I haven't checked in a while. I'm not really surprised that the first 3 games on the Nintendo Switch are going to be Mario games that are doing extremely well. You can see Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is still selling extremely well, and I'm still surprised because that game was originally, of course, you guys know, a Wii U game. So for it to be top 3 on Switch right now, you guys know it's probably going to break 10 million, 11 million. It might even be one of the best-selling games on Switch by the time the Switch life cycle is up, because I don't think they're going to make another true Mario Kart on Switch. I could be wrong about that, but I know the next Mario Kart that we're definitely going to be getting on Switch is going to be Mario Kart Tour, which is supposed to be coming out this year on mobile. Of course, I can guarantee you there's no way it's going to be better than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is their mainline game and it's $60, and they don't want to make the mobile game better than their current gen game. It just wouldn't make sense. And you know, Mario Kart Tour is going to be lesser quality and it's going to be cheaper, and they have to make sure this one still sells. So there it is, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is still selling well. Tales of Vesperia just came out. I think I talked about this before, but Tales of Vesperia is a very good game. It's originally a game, I think, back on PS3 and Xbox 360, I do believe, and it's a action RPG, so it's kind of like a JRPG. But if you love action RPGs and you love this game's not turn-based, it's not tactics based. It's actually action. Yeah, it's actually action based. So you're actually controlling the units on screen, and then you're actually doing the combat like that, kind of like Diablo, Kingdom Hearts, things like that. If you ever played any of those games, still surprised Stardew Valley selling well. Not surprised Jumping Jail is selling well, because again, it's only 49 cents. But here's the top trending games really quickly, and yeah, kind of interesting. Let's see what download-only games are doing extremely well on the Switch. Okay, Stardew Valley is doing very well. A very good game, I can't admit. Jumping Joe and Friends, Hollow Knight still selling well. Cave Blazers, Celeste, Mutant Muds, Outrun, Into the Breach. Okay, we got some stuff that's doing pretty well on the eShop. A lot of those are very good games. Let's see what's coming soon on the Switch before I head out of this video. Okay, we got some stuff. I have no idea what it is. All these games look questionable. Most of these games look like they're going to be not too good. Smites is a good game. I think it's actually from the same developer who made the same developer who made Paladins. So if you like Paladins, you may want to check this game out. I know it plays nothing like Paladins, but it's made by the same studio, and that studio is known to make good quality games. So check out Smite on the Nintendo Switch when it comes out. It is going to be a free-to-play game. You can go ahead and check this out. And yeah, I think, oh, I've seen this game before, Swords and Soldiers. I know it was on another platform. Was it the Wii or the Wii U? But either way, I've seen the Swords and Soldiers game. And this game is a game that's definitely a good game if you like, I think, strategy games, I do believe. I think I want to say some kind of strategy RPG, yep, where you control different units, you attack, and things like that. For $7.49, this game is probably a game you may want to check out, Swords and Soldiers on the Switch. Let's see what else is coming out on the Switch. It looks like we also have another shoot 'em up. The Nintendo Switch is just a heaven for shoot 'em ups. So if you like shoot 'em up games, you're definitely gonna love the Switch. The Switch has so many shoot 'em ups to offer. It's just crazy. And these devs keep pumping out these shoot 'em ups. I just wanted to point that out there, that the Switch is littered with shoot 'em ups. And yeah, there's really nothing too spectacular in the eShop right now that's coming soon. The only other game that I can think of that's actually probably worth your penny dollar is Ollie Ollie. I think this is actually, I've seen this before, this is actually a compilation of the first 2 Ollie Ollie games, so Ollie Ollie 1 and Ollie Ollie 2. I know these games came out back on the 3DS. Also, I think they're on PS4 and Xbox One. You can get Ollie Ollie, and of course PC, I do believe. And this is pretty much your only skating game on Switch. I know it's not really a skating game, a skateboarding game, because you're not really actually skateboarding like Tony Hawk's or like the Skate series from EA from back in the day, but it is a pretty cool game if you like skateboarding. The only problem I heard with this game is it's pretty much a game where you just have to type in inputs on a controller, and then the character on screen will do those inputs. But here's the problem. The problem which I heard about this game is it's just very hard and very brutal. So maybe for $14.99 you may actually want to skip this game. If you think you can do inputs precisely, then this game's going to be for you. I heard this game is very good when you finally figure out how to do all the inputs and do all the controls. It's very satisfying and very rewarding in its gameplay. It's just that it's so hard, I think, for a lot of people. They're probably going to get stuck on this game. That's what I've heard from the Ollie series, but maybe you want to give this game a go when it comes out on February 14th. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the eShop right now. I pretty much checked through everything. That's pretty much going to do it for this video. Anyway, guys, this is Wayne from My Tech News, signing out. Peace!